Hopefully that worked. Did it? I'm green, but I can't see anything on... Oh, YouTube says starting, so that's good. So it says... The audience will see in a moment.
I
Now
can
it
see it.
says... Now it says I am live. Excellent. Oh, nice. I can just keep this page up. Well, I like this dashboard on YouTube. This works. All right. Welcome, everyone, to 4GwQPodcast. This is episode number 126 for March 17th, 2017. Not the 16th like we should have done because I was too busy adulting. Live on location, so if it sounds a little different or looks a little different, sorry. I'm not at my normal computer, but the show must go on. So we've got a great show for you tonight, or today, or whatever it is where you're watching. I know some people are watching from the UK. We got some awesome feedback from some people in Europe about the show, so thank you for coming by and continuing to check it out. But enough of the pleasantries. On with the introductions. We have, for his 126th straight appearance, we have ZPCI Assassin. What's up, guy?
Hold on.
Don't fall asleep, all right? Gotta
I'll try not
put in
to.
at least an hour before you start, taking a nap. Taylor's not here. She's too busy adulting. She's going to visit her grandma. It's her 90th birthday, so happy birthday, Grandma Zebra Fries. Blow out all those candles, or else it's bad luck. But anyway, we also have Italian Clowns. What's going on?
What's up?
Nothing much. Just podcasting in a different location. Hopefully this computer holds up. It looks like it's going strong so far, but if you're watching on YouTube or you're seeing on Twitter that we're live and you can't see us on Twitch or Beam, it's because Joycaster is not working out for us right now. So we're just going on YouTube. That's where most people watch anyway, and that's where we can best archive. So we wanted to make sure that we did it on YouTube. So let me, before we go on, I usually have a slide for our amazing affiliates that we have. We have links for Best Buy, GameStop, Microsoft Store, and Amazon down in the description of this video currently. Those affiliates help us with giveaways. If you guys just go to those and do your normal shopping, you don't have to pay any more. We get a little kickback. So sorry I don't have the affiliate slide for the video version of the podcast. I am working on my laptop at a different location, so that is why. But
Excuses.
Shut up. Fun.
Could have emailed yourself,
Dude,
went to Gmail.
I did Dropbox and Drive for this podcast because I did all the designing at work today, actually, and yeah, I forgot about that one, so I forgot to grab that from my main computer. So, yeah, so thank you for sponsoring us, affiliates. Just go there, do your normal shopping, like I said. You will help us out, and you don't pay any more. We just get a little referral kickback, so that would be amazing. Yeah, so for the show today, we have, we're going to talk about PAX East, obviously. Clowns was there, I was there. Clowns stayed with me for it, so we had a little bromance going for this past weekend. But Assassin, unfortunately, even with last-ditch efforts to get him there, was not able to come. But maybe next year.
We even tried to lure him with pizza, and he still wouldn't come.
We tried to lure him with pizza. That is correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some delicious pizza. Went to some North End in Boston, have some delicious food. And Clowns probably experienced the coldest temperatures he's ever experienced in his life, especially for a Floridian.
Oh yeah.
So what else do we got? We got Project Scorpio talk, obviously, for all the Xbox fans watching. There's been some leaks, some rumors, I guess, that have come out about the abilities of Scorpio and what it's going to feature and all that kind of stuff. We will go over that. What else do we have? We have PSNow on PC, so is there such thing as an exclusive anymore? As my update notification might have come through the stream. We've got the Battlefield 1 DLC. We also have the Modern Warfare Remastered bullshit that is the Variety Map Pack costing $15 for old maps that they released a decade ago, just remastered. So yeah, we'll get into all those topics. I can see the YouTube chat, so if you guys want to post your opinions and stuff, please do so. I'll be bouncing back and forth with that because my screen real estate is limited right now. But all right, without further ado, that was probably the longest intro ever. PAX East last weekend. Had an amazing time. Clowns, I know, only went on Sunday. I went all 3 days. That the picture that we're showing right now is a picture that I took as I was going up an escalator, so it may be a little blurry. So yeah, clowns. I've done this before. I've talked about this in this podcast, so I want to get the newbies' impressions first of the experience of PAX. So why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
I gotta say, it was awesome. There is so much to do, so much to look at, and I think you kind of at least need 2 good days there. I think Saturday would probably be the best day. Sunday, you had all the last people trying to rush in. It got crowded. Couldn't win any contests because you couldn't pass by. Lots of cool stuff that Assassin missed out on. I'm sorry he wasn't there. We
Like
got to
what?
go by the Intel booth under the New Egg. We got to see. We passed by Zoink. We got to pass by the Death Squared. It was awesome, man. I just loved it. I wish we could do it all the time. I wish it was like constantly going 24 hours a day nonstop.
I wish it were a week. I really do. I mean, if I could, I know, if you buy the passes, they're, a little just north of $150 for all 3 days, and some people may say $150, like that's bullshit. But the floor is open 8 hours a day. There's talks that go until midnight. So if you want, you can be there for 14 hours each day to check this thing out. If you're at the hotel next door, you might as well do that and maximize your dollar there and get the biggest experience possible. I know one of the friends of the show, Mr. Negative, that does Super Deformed Gamecast. I met him there, and he actually was on a panel about social interaction in gaming and all the bullshit that happens online. Unfortunately, that is wars back and forth. But it was I didn't go to see the panel. Unfortunately, I didn't have time, but. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. They had, Rooster Teeth panels. They had Kind of Funny did a panel, but Colin Moriarty obviously wasn't there. But yeah, I mean, Assassin. I feel bad you weren't there, but I think Assassin would enjoy it, even though there's a lot of people clowns. What do you think?
I think he would have liked it. I think he would prefer to do the thing like we did where we hung out together and go around.
Yeah.
I think he would have loved it. I think even though Assassin may not have played all the games because he probably would have said, "What is this? Oh my god, what is this?" I think he still would have had fun, like watching some of the stuff like Bulletstorm when you and Dan played. It looked kind of cool. It's just, and plus the chance for him to win stuff, he would have loved that. He loves contests, so he would have loved that like $500 chair. What company was that was given away?
Maxinomic or whatever.
Oh, Assassin would have loved that. He would have ate it up. We probably would have found him sitting there.
The chair.
Yeah, well, no, you would have loved
Assassin.
it. Yeah, you would have just sat there relaxing. I could just picture it. Yeah, he missed out. Maybe next year, Assassin.
Maybe. We'll see.
But you know what the coolest thing was when we met up with Crypto, even though it was for like a couple minutes because he was very busy. That was really cool, Inferno. We met up with him. We passed by Pink Smurf's stream at the Intel booth. Mm-hmm. We got to crash her stream. She told us to say hi in the camera. And we got to meet up with somebody Inferno met before, Chris Charla from ID at Xbox, which was really cool. So I mean, it was awesome. Josh Stein was there. We met up with MK from Beam. Mm-hmm. So many cool people.
I want to address the first question that kind of came up in the chat from Megatron, awesome supporter of the show. I met him at E3, and so I know Megatron has E3 experience but not PAX experience and wants to know how it's different. And I think I can definitely speak to that because I've been to both. And, I think these guys can maybe chime in too, even though they haven't been to E3. But, I mean, you can just tell I think from the feeling of it and from stuff how it's marketed, screenshots and whatnot. E3 is so much more business oriented. It's not I feel like at E3 they're not excited for you to play. It's just like a stepping stone. They have the booth. They want to promote it, to sell it. The devs aren't necessarily there to talk to you, and they're not excited to talk to you, with the exception of people like Craig Duncan that was at the Rare booth at E3 last year for Sea of Thieves. But at this one, a lot of them are indie games. A lot of them are smaller games that people aren't necessarily going to recognize right when they see it, but they'll watch some gameplay right away at the booth. It's a 10-foot by 10-foot booth a lot of times, maybe 10 by 20 if companies spring for the big bucks. 40 by 40 even, some of the bigger booths. But they're excited to talk to you. The devs want to talk to you. I mean, we went to Monster Boy or whatever, Clowns.
Oh, yes. Yes. We met up with the dev. His name was, I believe, Philip.
Yep,
I want to
Philip,
say. I
yep.
hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the thing about PAX is that the devs that you meet at PAX are so passionate about their games, and they're so eager to talk to you, tell you about their games, their story behind the games, how long they've been developing it for, what other stuff they've done. It's just, I couldn't tell you, like, it's like you meet somebody with a whole bunch of heart that's just so happy to show you their games. Mm-hmm. And that's what PAX is really about. It's about the devs getting out there talking to the people. You're not talking to a corporation. You're not just talking to random PR reps, like you would maybe at E3. You're talking to the devs who developed this stuff, who put in their heart, their time, maybe took time off work, took a vacation to build these games. Mm-hmm. And you meet these guys, mm-hmm. and you're like, wow, now the game even has a further story behind it, and it makes it 10 times better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, put really well. I don't know if I can even put that better at all. I would just want to add to that a little bit and say, from the E3 experience I had, a lot of times you'll go up to the booth and those people are hired just to show the thing. Like, you can't go to the Halo Wars 2 booth and talk to people from, 343 or what's the company that made all the cinematics again, Assassin?
Blur,
thank you. Yeah, Blur. So you can't go up to them and be like, oh, can I talk to somebody from Blur about the cinematics? They'll be like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, but with this, you'll walk up to something like Flint Hook from Tribute Games and Dom2D, awesome guy. Follow him on Twitter. Follow Tribute Games on Twitter too. Captain Flint Hook as well. These guys are standing at the booth, waiting for you. Everybody that passed by, hey, how you doing? You want to check out my game? This is my game, and then you can ask them anything. Like Clown said, absolutely anything. And at E3, you just can't do that. For the most part, you can't do that, with the exception of some. Like I said, Craig Duncan at E3 was awesome to talk to while I was waiting in line for like 20 minutes about Sea of Thieves and the direction of it, and then eventually, on TXR, we were able to interview him. But like, for instance, right up on the screen now, Crash Bandicoot, played that at the PlayStation booth. That was phenomenal. Could I talk to anybody who worked on Crash? Absolutely not. Like those Sony guys, Clowns, in the Sony booth, those guys, none of those guys worked on anything. Those people are just PR people, pushing. But at the indie booths and, at some of the other ones like Square Enix and stuff, they had people that actually worked on games. So, so the PlayStation, the Xbox booths are a lot of the same thing as E3, to answer your question, Megatron. It's like a lot of PR people. Stein was there, MK, like we said. Not like back end people, but with the indie games, it's all the people you want to talk to.
Yep.
So, what else about PAX? Let's talk about maybe some of the games we really enjoyed. Right? Got my picture right here with Toe Jam and Earl. I mean, Adult Swim games. They had
oh my god,
Toe Jam and Earl there. That was epic.
Oh my god, that looked so awesome. That game, I can't wait for that game.
I found a bug while I was playing, though, and that's another interesting thing about PAX that you don't get at E3. E3, a lot of the games are extremely polished. At PAX, you'll be playing in, like, you'll have your controller and you'll hit a combo of, like, right bumper and X, like I did at Adult Swim, and the dev comes up to me from behind. He's like, no, don't do that. That's a bug, or whatever. You know what I mean? So I hit... So all of a sudden I hit right bumper and X at the same time because I just wanted to like fool around and see if it, what the buttons really did. and the whole game was like fucked up. I couldn't I was pausing all over the place. My movement was all stuttered. They had to restart the demo. I felt terrible, but that's what you get. Some of it is playtesting. A lot of times, like clowns, I know you experience this too. Like we'll play the game and then afterwards the dev will walk right up to you and be like, so what'd you think of the game? Like any bugginess, anything that you felt was off? And then some people will be like, yeah, I felt the jump distance was off, or you ran a little too slow, or the enemies were a little too hard and I felt like I was powerless or something like that. And they'll go write that down. You know what I mean? Or they'll give you their card and be like, hit me up via email, like we did. So
That's one thing too, is that we went with Inferno's brother, Dan. He was there with us, and I remember him talking to that one game that was kind of like cartoonish, like Borderlands like, and I remember he was talking about coding a little bit with the dev, like about the coding that goes behind it. And that's something you probably can't do at E3 either, that you could do at PAX, is that if you know code and you know how to code games or code anything, you could sit there and talk to the devs about it and get in a conversation.
yep, absolutely. If you have any experience, you guys can hear me still, right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure, because all of a sudden my computer told me I had no microphone. So yeah, like my brother with the experience. Good point, clowns. Like if you have any experience and you can like talk to them nerd speak, like that's another check mark. You know what I mean? If you had any dev experience, any graphics experience, like you're a good graphical designer, maybe you can get in with these companies. You know what I mean? You never know. So it's really a good networking experience as well as a good gaming experience. I mean,
Another thing too that I want to bring up that I thought was very cool about PAX that I don't think E3 does as well. E3, you probably get like the big YouTubers that go, maybe like Angry Joe and Boogie2988 and stuff like that. But at PAX, you can meet some of like Twitch partner streamers that are just walking around, and you can just talk to them. They don't have to be as big as Boogie or as big as Angry Joe, but like, I mean, we went by the Intel booth and there was tons of Twitch partners streaming, and you could just walk up and have a conversation with them.
mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure at E3 it wouldn't be as easy to do, because at E3 you might not see so many different streamers there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, exactly right. Like we did with Pink Smurf. Like she's not partnered yet. She's applying for partnership, but she's gonna get it. She has like over 6,000 subs, on followers rather on Twitch, and she streams like every single day. So she was invited at the Intel booth, like you said, to stream, and we're friends with Pink Smurf, and she's gonna be on the show. And Clowns like pops in, right? And I did it too, but Clowns finally met us at the booth because he was with his wife for a moment. And he comes to the booth, and Smurf's like, oh, you want to say hi to everyone I'm streaming to? And all of a sudden Clowns like pops in like a creep kind of, and pops in off the screen like this, and and he's just like, hi. Like something assassin would do.
I did the assassin wave, and then I did like 3 more different style waves in the background, and you could read the stream, and they're like, "Oh my God, Pink Smurf is getting mobbed by fans. They're even getting autographs."
Yeah,
because my daughter wanted her autograph.
Yeah, and you got it, right? She signed it.
Oh yep.
It's cool, very cool. All right, so let's talk about like some of the games, because people want to hear about that kind of stuff. So first game I kind of want to talk about is a game that I know has been streamed recently. It just came out recently. We met with a bunch of the team, like at least 3 or 4 members of the team, and I actually got this little plushie that I tweeted earlier from the 4Guys account, this little square. And I know Assassin's been playing Death Squared like all day. So yeah, Death Squared, Assassin. What did you think of Death Squared?
Oh boy.
Oh god, I'm not a fan of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He doesn't like puzzles. Yeah.
No, I don't mind
said.
puzzle games. It just brought nothing like new to a little puzzle, whatever. And I felt that the sticks were a little too sensitive. There was times where I'd tap it a little bit, and my cube would just go flying off the map.
Okay. So I understand you on that. I understand you on that. That is a little too sensitive, but go ahead, Clowns, what were you going to say?
I think Assassin was maybe just a little bit sleepy when he played it too.
Ah, nice.
I don't think he gave it a fair shot.
20 levels in under an hour.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of game it is. The puzzles aren't like Zelda scale puzzles. Obviously, it's a board with cubes.
Yeah, some of them did make me think, and then others was like, "You're kidding me."
Dude, that one of the earliest levels where like you're moving the two cubes. You know, the mechanic is with the dual sticks, right? So you're moving the two squares, the cubes, and you put one on the other thing, and then spikes come out of the ground. Like this was like the third or fourth puzzle or something, and all of a sudden,
Yes.
and me and Clowns were playing. Like he was at my place, and we got the code from the devs to check it out and talk about it on the show in a review, and all of a sudden the spikes come out and take out the other cube, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know?
I gotta say, man, I played a little bit of it before the podcast, and
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I think it's a simple, fun puzzle game, and I like the fact that each stick controls a different cube. I think that's kind of cool. Like, I didn't see that in any other puzzle game that I've ever played, where you can control both without having to switch back and forth. This, no, you can control both with both sticks. You can move them both at the same time as well.
Yeah. The crazy thing about the dual stick mechanic, moving two independent things, that is usually frowned upon, is that like people get disoriented, and like very few games I feel have been able to pull that off. I know what's that game, Brothers or something like that. I played it very briefly on the 360. I didn't really like it. Where you controlled each person individually, and also there's a few other games of PAX. I'm gonna have to look at my list to see, but there were actually like 3 or 4 games of PAX that I saw that you had to control two separate things independently with the two sticks. But yeah, it's tough to pull off. But I think Death Square did it well. I don't Assassin.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with you on that that it wasn't good because of that.
Also, something about Death Square that I found awesome was that it's got humor. Like, it's not just a puzzle and you're playing this puzzle. It's like you hear two guys at an office almost like talking back and forth about doing these tests. And it's just hysterical, the conversation that takes place. I don't see that in many other puzzle games either. Not especially made like this. I found that kind of cool. Like, I love the fact that you're playing something as people are like having conversations, and you're playing like as one of these guys or whatever. It's just, I don't know, man. It blew my mind. It's very creative.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's extremely creative. I think the booth was presented extremely well at PAX. They had all these colored, these plush things. They had even bigger ones, like ones you can almost sit on. And I looked at the booth. I'm like, that game looks a little familiar. I think I've seen that before. And then I go up to it. I'm like, wow, like you just totally drew me in because of the way you set up your booth, and everyone there was loving it. So Assassin, I think you're a little oddball on that. But I do agree about the stick thing. I think it's a little too sensitive. I didn't check to see if you can turn that down. Did you?
No.
Oh, well, then there you go.
After an hour, I turned it off.
Well, anyway, we'll have a full review of that. We're going to have the devs on to interview. We've already gotten in touch with them. So if you're a fan of Death Squared, which I know a lot of you are from the way you guys have been tweeting, definitely come back. We'll announce that on Twitter, of course, when we're going to have them on to do an interview about the game and the development. So other games that were excellent, Snake Pass, which won many awards for Best of Show. That is an excellent game. I would definitely go out and check out Snake Pass. It's like a platformer, but you have to use the snake's wriggling body. You know, like how a snake moves. I don't have to demonstrate it on my webcam.
You have to demonstrate it.
Creepily, like I did. Like I just did this kind of motion. Yeah, you have to use the wriggling motion of the dexterity of the snake to get through the platforming puzzles and up around like different platforms and stuff. You can't navigate them without using the snake's normal bodily movement to do it. And it's very much like Mario. We have to collect stars, or Banjo-Kazooie. We have to collect items on the level to beat it and stuff like that. So the concept's been done before in terms of the platforming, but the mechanic of the snake wriggling around and how fluid it is, and how it runs at 60 frames per second. It's coming on the Switch. It's coming on Xbox One, PS4, Steam, the whole bit. It's coming, and it will be out in just a couple weeks. So hopefully we can get them on the show too. We talked to them about that, and we'll be reviewing that as well. Clowns, what did you think of the Snake Pass thing? You saw it you didn't play it, I don't think, but you saw it a little bit.
You know, and this probably has nothing to do with it, but I was thinking of Snake Rattle and Roll from the old days.
Ah, nice.
You remember that game?
Yeah, yeah.
But
No.
my wife, she's not a big fan of video games unless it's like Candy Crush or Cookie Jam. Assassin loves Cookie Jam too, but
No.
she actually thought the Snake game looked kind of fun. That was one game that she wanted to try out, but unfortunately, like, I think the convention was too much for her. Too much video games everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's true that this, and if you, you can take my word for it. Like you probably should, but you can also look at a ton of other publications that have talked about their PAX East roundup in text form. You can read and they'll say, I think I read an article that was like 5 things about this PAX that's different than many others or something, and it's and the things were that there were a lot more games at this one. They crammed a lot of stuff into that huge Boston Convention Center. And they were able to show a lot of stuff. Like in 3 days, I don't think I saw everything, which is crazy. 24 hours at the show, I didn't see it. I didn't see everything. So yeah, your wife was definitely overwhelmed. I felt bad, but yeah. So Sumo Digital for Snake Pass, Sumo Digital. I think it comes out on the 28th officially. I think it's on the Xbox store for pre-order now, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's on PSN. I'm more sure about PSN than I am about Xbox, and it is definitely on Steam. So,
And also look forward to that interview as well, because we did talk to the dev, one of the devs from the team, and he wanted to be on the show as well. So look out for that in the future.
Yep. What else? Flint Hook, obviously, I already mentioned from Tribute Games. That's coming out in mid-April. I would very highly suggest that, especially if you're into Shovel Knight or retro bit platforming. This takes it to a whole new level. It's a little bit retro bit platforming, but you use a little grapple hook to kind of get around. So there's a bunch of hooks on the stage. Think Mega Man side-scrolling platforming, but use a grapple hook to kind of move around quickly to avoid multiple attacks and to kill enemies and stuff. So that was really cool. Flipping Death from Zoink, our guys over at
Oh
Zoink.
man,
Yeah.
yes, looks phenomenal. I mean, Zoink's artwork is always on point, and even though it's like similar style and all their stuff that they do, it's just so creative and it pops right out at you.
Mhm.
And I couldn't stop staring at Inferno. Like, I don't know what you thought, but
Yeah, no.
I am drooling over that game.
I went to that booth like 4 times before I was able to try it out because the booth was so packed. That got nominated for a bunch of awards. I mean, Zoink is a great company. If you played stuff like Stick It to the Man, which we've talked about in the show extensively when we interviewed Klaus, the head of their studio. Zombie Vikings, which just recently came out on Xbox One, but it's been out on Steam and PS4 for a little bit, and I believe it's coming to the Switch. This game, Flipping Death, is a lot more like Stick It to the Man. So if you're a really big fan of that game, I would definitely check out Flipping Death. But you're gonna have to watch some YouTube videos. I didn't want to steal anything and put up videos of it, but on the podcast. But it was an awesome booth. They had it on Switch, demoed on Switch hardware. So that's another thing I kind of wanted to say about PAX that was awesome, is that the Switch had just came out, and Nintendo had ARMS there, they had Mario Kart, they had Zelda, they had a bunch of Switch stuff, but it was nice to see the indies also having a big Switch presence there as well. Being able to play a lot of stuff on the Switch, see what's coming in the indie scene, and thinking to yourself, okay, it's not just Nintendo anymore. There's actually going to be some really really good indies. Steam World Dig 2, Shovel Knight, Spectre of Torment. That expansion's already out, Switch console exclusive for a month. So yeah.
One thing that I missed while I was there, I don't know if you got a chance to play it, was Thimbleweed Park. That was at the Xbox booth.
Yeah, Thimbleweed Park. Hopefully we can get those guys on the show. I met Ron Gilbert last year, the creator of the original Monkey Island, and he's on this team for Thimbleweed Park, Kickstarter game, point-and-click adventure kind of thing. I'm sure a lot of people who watch this podcast are familiar. But yeah, I played it last year at PAX. It was a little rough around the edges, but it still was amazing. And this year at PAX, I played it very, very briefly. Just because I was talking to James Shields as well, one of the directors of accessories over there at Xbox. So we were talking, and Thimbleweed Park was literally right next to the accessory section, so I was not as into it as I probably should have been. But I will be getting it on Xbox. I'm really excited about Thimbleweed Park.
It does have a release date too, so I mean it's finished.
Yeah, so when is that? Like October-ish, or was it sooner?
Um,
I think it may be sooner.
I thought it was sooner. Yeah.
All right, I'll look that up as we keep talking here. Um, Assassin, what did you? I know you watched a little bit of the coverage. What did you see? Anything that enticed you at all?
I didn't watch anything.
What do you mean? You were telling me about stuff that you saw about PAX.
Oh, there was just stuff you should have done, like sign stuff at Zoink and stuff. But other than that,
Wow.
I
Wow,
didn't pay much attention to PAX.
wow, you're a goon, dude. They had these custom controllers. We're showing the Gwent one right now on the podcast, and also the Mass Effect one. They had State of Decay. They had a Gears one, an awesome Sea of Thieves one. Custom controllers that
Oh,
you could win. Oh, good.
speaking of that, that's one thing that was really cool at PAX that I got a chance to see is that CD Projekt Red was by the Xbox booth for a while, and they had Geralt. They had a guy dressed up as Geralt, looked phenomenal, and you could take your picture with them, walk up, talk to them, and they gave you a ton of beta codes for Gwent the card game
Mm-hmm.
on multiple platforms.
Yeah. So I mean that's another thing too. I mean there is a ton of swag at PAX compared to E3. Like E3, this swag, you know, you definitely get your T-shirts, you get your bags or whatever. But like at PAX, we got beta keys, we got Lawbringers beta keys, we got Gwent beta keys, we got full Steam games. Even people are giving out. If you beat like high scores for the day, they give you the game for free. You can sign up for betas, stuff like that. That's a big difference from E3, and that's another good thing about PAX, that you can, get a lot out of it without spending a ton of money too. You get a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than E3 also
Yeah,
for
oh
the
yeah,
average consumer.
definitely, absolutely. And if you're in the Seattle area, if you're in where's South San Antonio or Austin? It's in Texas, I think.
Yep.
If you're in Texas area, if you're in Boston, New England, or if you're in Australia, I highly recommend PAX. One of the better expos for consumers for sure. All right, before we get off the PAX train, we'll be talking about a lot more games about PAX, but unfortunately, we only have like an hour and so or so to talk on this podcast. But stuff like In the Darkness, or In the Shadows rather. Why do I keep saying In the Darkness? In the Shadows. I backed that. I know Taylor backed it. We'll have them on the show to talk about their game. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more we could talk about, but we have limited time. So, Xbox versus PS4 booth clowns.
Well, to be honest with you, I think Xbox went way out. The Xbox always goes big, so congrats to the marketing team, phenomenal job. Like they had live shows at PAX that they were doing with MK and some other people that joined up on stage, and the booth is set up so much friendlier. It just seemed like there was more space to walk around. They had two lines to design your controllers, and then you get like a free engraven thing, and you even got a pin for designing controllers. They had a swag booth where you could buy like some T-shirts, beanies, and then they had multiple rows of like ID and Xbox games set up, which I thought was great. The PS4, from what I saw and where we stood in line when we met with Xbot, it just seemed overcrowded
Mm-hmm.
and not properly set up for a mass influx of a crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the aisles were dipping over into the PlayStation lines.
Yep. Yep. I think part of the reason for that, as Assassin totally whacks his microphone.
Yeah.
Um, I,
Sorry.
I think part of the reason for that is I think Xbox just knows how to use the space more efficiently, and I think they had a little bit more space. And also, I think Sony didn't realize how much their indies were really going to attract. I think they were banking on the VR stuff to attract. They had that game Gang Beasts, which Xbox and Mel are like totally into, but I'm just very lukewarm on it. They had that. They thought that was going to draw crowds, and it did. They thought Crash Bandicoot was going to draw crowds. Obviously, they had a check-in system for it. But like their other stuff, I don't think they really thought it was going to draw that big of a crowd. Like Disc Jam, that game is awesome, and that's free on PS Plus right now. It's out, but a lot of people came to play that and try to beat each other's score and get hyped on it. And so stuff like that. They had Eater, EITR, it's spelled. They didn't. I don't think they realized that game was going to draw crowds. They had like MLB The Show, that was drawing huge crowds. So the way they set up their booth, I don't think they thought it was going to draw the biggest of crowds, and it did. It drew a lot of people, and I think I say more people than the PlayStation booth. I mean, the Xbox booth rather. The thing that pissed me off though, clowns, about the Xbox booth is that they had stuff like Minecraft Battle Mode. They had stuff like the other Minecraft mode that I'm not even into at all. I don't even know it by name. They had like Halo Wars 2. They had so many setups of Halo Wars 2. I'm like, dude, people want to come here and see the newest and greatest. They want to come see Sea of Thieves. They want State of Decay 2. Some people were even walking around being like, oh, I thought Crackdown 3 would be here, which I think is a dream, obviously, but people were expecting stuff like that. They get Halo Wars 2. They get Gwent. Granted, Gwent is incredible, right? But it's been out. It's in beta. Like, people can play it at home. They don't come to see the Xbox booth to play stuff you can play at home. They want to play the newest, greatest, say they did it, check out the latest stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're on point with this 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I know if my boy Assassin was there, we walked down that first escalator. You walk down the escalators, Xbox is positioned perfectly there, right at the bottom of the escalators, and I'm sure they paid good money to be there. And they're there with Halo Wars 2 and with Minecraft Battle Mode. You had to look for stuff like Thimbleweed Park. You had to look for stuff. Apparently, news to me, I heard on another podcast that Friday the 13th was there. I had no idea that was there. I had no idea. Nope. They set their booth up right for the masses. They had the roping off proper. They had it set up perfectly so it wasn't overcrowded. Yet they didn't have stuff like Friday the 13th, which isn't out yet. They didn't have stuff like Sea of Thieves, which isn't technically out yet. They didn't have these things front and center like they should have been. They had stuff like Halo Wars front and center.
Yep.
They had stuff like Minecraft. Like, come on, man.
I gotta agree with you. Like, if you're gonna when you go to shows like PAX, you should always start pumping up like the newest stuff coming out. And I know Microsoft does a great job marketing. Xbox does, especially on social media. Like, it's phenomenal. But I agree. I wish I would have saw like some Sea of Thieves stuff there, or even some like teasers about Sea of Thieves, like a treasure chest, just like on the floor. It says Sea of Thieves would have been cool, something to say. Here's what's coming out, guys. Like, Halo Wars 2 has been out for a while, and it's a phenomenal game. And I'm sure if Assassin was there, he would have been like, "Yo, stand in line and play me, because I'm beast. I'm the best at this." But we need to see new stuff, like you said, 100%.
Assassin, I know you have very little to say about this, but well, if you walk down that escalator, you paid the daily rate, the $52 or $53 to get there. You walk down those front escalators, you drop down, you see your favorite console, Xbox, big green up there, and you look up, or you finally get to the bottom, and your eyes are up at the ceiling, look at all the crazy banners, and then all of a sudden you look down, and there's fucking Halo Wars 2 and Minecraft Battle Mode. What would you say, honestly?
I wouldn't say anything. I would just turn around and walk the other way.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll tell you what you would do. You would look right. You'd see the PlayStation booth. You'd say, hey, I don't have a PS4 anymore, but I'm mildly interested. Walk over there. You'd see stuff like VR stuff that you've never tried before. You'd be like, oh, this is cool. Let me try this. You'll see GT Sport was there. Maybe try that. You'd see Crash Bandicoot. You'd want to walk up and try that. All this new stuff that isn't out yet, that is eye-catching. MLB The Show, even. I know you're not a baseball guy, but you see stuff that's new, that's not out yet, and you want to try that. Same thing with Nintendo. Like, you look left, there's wait, what was that? No, Nintendo was still right. Okay, a little right of PlayStation. You look at that. You see ARMS on the Switch. You see Mario Kart. Yep. You
Yep.
see stuff that isn't out yet that is being talked about that people want to try. You see a few indies over there. You see a huge stage. They're doing Mario Kart competitions. Clowns was like, "Oh shit, they're doing a Mario Kart competition." You couldn't help but notice, you know. But the Xbox
Nint-
booth, like, go ahead, clown. Sorry.
Nintendo was smart too. They put monitors up when people were doing the competition. So like even if you didn't stay eye level with ground level and you looked up to look around, you get stuck on these big screens that showed like these kids playing Mario Kart, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely cool. Um, J Street says in the YouTube chat, judging by PAX, do you guys expect E3 to be better? I don't expect E3 to be better. I still had an awesome time at PAX. Don't get me wrong, J Street. I think you popped in kind of towards the end of this discussion about PAX. I mean, we're already like 30 minutes into this conversation about PAX, but PAX was still amazing. Like, I willingly got hooked by a Roadhog cosplayer. You know what I mean? Like I asked people, to take pictures. We got a lot of pictures. Me and clowns took pictures with Mercy, with a bunch of Overwatch cosplayers. We met a lot of Twitch people. We already said this, but I'll just reiterate for people that are late. We met a lot of Twitch people. Our boy Crypto that we've had in the show before. I know J Street, you've been watching a while, so you remember when we had a Crypto on. We finally met fucking Crypto 9095. That was so sick. Stuff like that, moments like that. I wouldn't trade PAX in for anything. I would rather go to PAX than E3.
See, even though E3 opened up to the public, I think E3 is still kind of expensive for the average consumer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also, if you're not pressed and you go to E3, there's some stuff that you're not gonna have access to, or not gonna have time to access, and you might miss some of the press briefings as well, which is what E3 is really known for, is like their amazing press briefings. So PAX has, has the consumer side covered basically. You talk to devs, talk to some of the PR people right up front. You meet some awesome cosplayers. Everything's right there in front of you. There's no like, oh, I got to go to this conference, that conference. No, you don't have to. Just play the game, talk to devs, have fun.
Right. Right. And you won't feel like you wasted your time. You know what I mean? Like, if you buy like a week's pass to Disney World, right? And you go and you ride all the rides and you ride them even a second time because you have time, you're going to be like, oh, I should have only bought 4 days kind of thing. Where at PAX, it's like, oh, I only went 1 day, like Clown said earlier. I only went 1 day. I should have gotten all 3 days because I couldn't see everything. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff to do at PAX. You will never think that you wasted your money because there's just so much to do. We didn't even talk about card games, tabletop stuff. I mean, we didn't go see that because, but...
Oh, and you can even negotiate and get deals on products at PAX too. Like, you talk to the companies right then and there,
Yeah, Clowns, why don't you tell that story about your brand new shiny capture card that you got?
Yeah, so Inferno and his brother were there like the day before, and Dan bought a capture card for like $100 because they were selling it on discount. Because normally it's like 160 or 150, so they were selling it for 100 there, and they claimed that was cost, right? So we sat there talking. We sat there talking to him again when I came, and I was like, "Oh man, I really want the newest Hophead capture card because I got the older one, and this one does 60 frames per second." And the guy's like, "Oh, dude, just $100 and you could have it." And I was like, "Nah, that's too much." He's like, "All right, I'll cut you a deal, 2 for 180." And I was like, looking, and Inferno was like, "Dude, that's not cost." Inferno just like flat out. And I said, "All right, listen, I will really buy one, but only for 90. I'm not spending 100. I know you guys could wiggle a little bit." And the guy's like, "All right, let me find out." He's like, "Yep, here you go, $90, capture card." Got the new one. I mean, it's $10 off, but yeah, see, that's what I mean though. Like at PAX, you can talk to these vendors and negotiate. And there's retro collectors that you can negotiate with. The HyperX guys were there. I'm sure you could have probably got a good deal on the last day of the convention because keep in mind, like they got to take all these products back home with them, so it's better for them to unload some of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly right. You get there Sunday. They're giving away chairs. Like they want to get rid of all their shit. They don't want to lug it. So he's right. Make deals. Like people will come down on the deals. And I know Jizzle is in the YouTube chat saying, "Wait, 2 for 180. Why didn't you pay 80 then?" Because he paid 100. The reason for that is because we didn't do it at the same time, so they were just like budging a little bit. They weren't budging the full bit. So, and we were talking to that schmuck that they had there, not the guy that we spoke to. Is also that guy that said it was cost $100 is cost. Give me a break. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway,
But I mean,
oh,
even Jizzle got a nice Zelda hat, right?
yeah, he got an awesome Zelda hat. I'll take pictures of that and throw it up on Twitter for you guys. We got custom controllers. I'll throw those on Twitter as well. I got a Rogue One DualShock 4. It's awesome.
Jealous.
Dude, and as it looked assassin, like when he pulled it out of the package, because like when I think of custom controllers, like I just think of like slabbed on paint, like you pre-manufactured, but these things come like shiny. Like I mean, they just got this look to them, and you're like, oh my god, this is epic. This is shiny.
Yeah, the Xbox controllers are of very high quality. The PlayStation ones are a little more matte, which is okay. I like matte, but the shiny finish that my brother got on his Pokemon controller that he bought, I will put a picture up on Twitter, on the 4Guys account for that. It is gorgeous, man. And they only had 10 of them, so it was limited edition. They don't even sell it on their site. So you can get some awesome limited edition stuff. We went to the Limited Run booth. That's a company that sells, as you'd expect, limited run of printed like physical copies of games. So I got a physical copy of Runner 2. They had physical copies of Thomas Was Alone, which is Assassin's favorite indie game of all time. So
Well, he was alone that week, right?
He was alone. Yeah, we were at PAX.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, so. But yeah. Other than that, I think maybe the take-home message too about PAX that we didn't even talk about is, if you're going for the big guys, you probably shouldn't even go. Honestly, if you're gonna spend, if you want to go to panels, you want to play indie games, you want to play tabletop games, I would say go. If you want to just go play indie games, you'll get lost playing indie games. You'll have a good time. Party Hard 2 they had there. If you're a huge fan of Party Hard, they had Tiny Build was there. You know, the Indie Mega Booth was amazing. So they had stuff in the big guys, but they had a lot more stuff in the small guys. So if you want to go play the big stuff, then.
And also, if you want to go meet streamers, Twitch streamers.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go meet streamers? They have a ton of famous Twitch streamers there. We met up with the Haley Baby, a big Twitch
Little
streamer,
Turtle.
I would say. Little Turtle Boy's favorite streamer of all time, and I do mean favorite. So met up with her, took some pictures with her, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, I think PAX East is a wrap. We'll talk about a lot of the games, of course, in the coming weeks and months that were at PAX, and maybe we'll revisit PAX again in a little bit. But anything else you want to say about it, clowns?
I say go. I say at least get Saturday and Sunday, because Sunday's when they give away all the great stuff. And if you pick up any tickets or anything, you need to be there Sunday to win. So Saturday and Sunday is probably your best. Friday's going to be overcrowded, but Saturday, Sunday, definitely go. Don't pull the assassin and sit home. Go. Just go.
Assassin, hear what he's saying about you right now?
Yeah, but I got to enjoy some Battlefield 1, so I'm good.
Wow, and that was an amazing segue to our next topic that you didn't even intend, but you know what? It was an amazing segue. So we must continue on. We're done with PAX talk. We're now moving on to Battlefield 1. So the first paid DLC is now out for premium members for 2 weeks exclusive. I think it's like 10 or so days. A week from the upcoming Tuesday, I think, is when, or Wednesday, is when it comes out to everyone. So this is famously dubbed the French DLC by a lot of people that didn't know the name of it until they announced They Shall Not Pass. But there's new guns, new maps, new game mode, some new camos, which Assassin's pissed off about.
Yep.
So, Assassin, I mean, you're the one really that knows most about this, so why don't you just tell us how you feel about it?
Oh yeah, I'll start with the good stuff. So the maps, well, some of the maps are pretty good. I forget what they're called. The ones with the vehicles are good. They look nice. They play pretty decent. The other two infantry-based ones, one's a grenade spam. The other one is all right. Not a huge fan of Verdun Heights, but some people say Verdun Heights is pretty lit. If you know what I mean.
Yep. Oh, wow. 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 Please explain that reference because people may not know what you mean by that. So.
Okay, so Verdun Heights is based on in the World War One. The Germans shelled that area with like a shit ton of shells. So like the whole area is like covered in dirt and fire. That's it. Dirt and fire and buildings.
Jizzle on the YouTube chat love that little reference that you just dropped. Yeah, you did hear that, Jizzle. That is exactly what he said. All right, continue on your evaluation.
Some of the weapons are pretty good. The SMG, earlier I was saying it sucks, but it's actually pretty good. The LMG, Inferno says it's really good. I
Excellent.
think like it's good, but it's in a few weeks people are gonna go back to some other LMG, I believe.
They aren't because it's a 3-shot kill. It's like, dude.
Yeah, but okay, so you play Monte Grappa, your favorite map of all time.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Huge map. Okay, so that gun's damage drop off is drops off pretty quickly compared to any LMG in the game.
Yeah, but the reason for that is because it only has like 15 rounds per clip, and 3 bullets will drop someone.
It's the
It's
bar
accurate too, dude.
has 20 rounds. It's more accurate.
Well, that gun's OP.
And it kills
They got
quick.
well, they're gonna nerf the shit out of that. Let's be honest.
The Madsen LMG has 31 rounds. A lot accurate. A lot more powerful.
Only at short range. Only at short range.
It can get further range than.
Not like the new one, dude. If you're a support character, you're gonna love this update. The new LMG is lit. All right, we'll use that reference again. It is lit. That gun is my new fave. I mean, this DLC is just if you're a support player, you're gonna absolutely love this thing. Go ahead, Saz, continue.
The what is it? The sniper, my favorite sniper. It's a little different, especially when you get the last round in because you have to pull the pin forward and then back and put another bullet in. So putting K bullets takes forever to take down a tank, but I think it's cool.
Wait, Clowns,
That
you played with the sniper too, right? You like the sniper?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love the sniper.
it sounds powerful, like you get the loud, deep bang of a gun, and then um, the stationary. Well, I'm going to get to the bad stuff now. The stationary weapon sucks. It absolutely sucks. What else? I forgot to mention the new game mode is pretty good. It's like if Conquest and Rush got together, had some drinks, lit a few candles, and a few months later, out came this game mode. So it's good.
Yeah, it's called
Um,
Frontlines, by the way. So really cool name too. It's not like I liked Chainlink from Battlefield 4, but I gotta admit Chainlink is a lame name. Frontlines like fits so well with Battlefield 1 that I thought it was a cool name and I instantly wanted to play it. And it is my new favorite game mode of all time in the Battlefield franchise. But continue.
Except that game mode needs a time limit. We played a match, Clowns and I, that lasted 72 minutes.
Dude, if I didn't see the picture, I wouldn't have believed it, dude. Every match I play is like 45 minutes max. I don't know what you guys were doing. Maybe it was just very evenly matched in player base or something. I just don't.
Yeah, a lot of the matches are, you capture a flag, then they capture the flag. So then you have to go back. Then you capture that flag, then they capture the flag. So then you have to go back and then rinse and repeat.
But that's cool about warfare, right? Like in war games, a lot of push and pull. It's not like you see with Conquest. A lot of people are mad about Conquest because it's like, okay, I run to C, then I run to A, then I run to B, then I run to E, and then you're just running in like this zigzag pattern. It's not realistic. Or with people, a lot of people like Rush, but it's like you're constantly moving back and back and back, and you're defending the same thing. Like there's no pushback. If you lose that spot, it's like, oh, okay, well, I just lost that spot. Now I have to, suck it up and defend this next one. Same thing with operations. But with this one, like you're on offense and defense at the same time. That's what I think is so awesome about it.
Nope. And then at the end, there's 2 MCOMs. One blows up. You could still win. Like you're not done. Like before the podcast was going to start, Clowns and I were playing it. we lost one objective we were about to win.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, you lose. Yeah. So how many tickets they give you? Like 40 when it gets to the MComs?
It's I believe it's 35 or 40, but it's around there.
Yeah. So like, if you those tickets expire, the game doesn't end like it doesn't in Rush. You get pushed back to the previous spot, like Assassin was saying, and I mean you can make a push at any moment. The game can completely turn on a
Yeah.
dime, and you don't respawn or anything. The next spot, the previous spot opens back up. If most of your team, is close to that spot, you can completely turn the tide. You can grab that spot before the other team even can get back from trying to get that MCOM. And you have the advantage. Sometimes you have the high ground. This map, or this DLC, the 4 maps that are included are very vertical. So you can have the high ground and completely dominate. And the people on the low ground, like, you have to find some really unique ways to get around. I think that's what is really unique about this DLC. It's the thing I hate about Monte Grappa, but it's the thing I love about this DLC. I don't know. I think this DLC does it just way better. So I don't know.
For operations, the game mode is very unbalanced. One of the maps that they wanted to do, the attacker team gets 6 tanks at once. Defending team gets 1 tank.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Especially with the new vehicle that is out. It has this pigeon thing, which then rains mortars all around it. You just shove all 6 in there, bring out the pigeons, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
With the other one, infantry based, most of the matches you're stuck at the first area. You can't get out of your spawn.
Yeah.
And then the behemoth.
Yeah, the
it
new
sucks.
behemoth.
It
It's
is
awesome against no, dude. It's awesome against armed artillery, against armed vehicles.
I was gonna say it sucks because it's only on 2 of the 4 maps.
Okay, well, I mean that whatever.
Yeah, but they're like, they wanted to show this thing off, and it's like, yeah, but it's only on 2 maps.
Well, maybe the balancing is just wrong on the other 2. I don't know. I mean, I agree with you and disagree with you on both sides of that one. I think it's cool that they even added a new behemoth. I don't think they even needed to.
Definitely cool.
But, Clowns, anything that you have to say about this new DLC? I know you tried it out a good amount.
It's nice that they did it, but they need to fix their shit because I'm tired of getting shot through hills. I think for a company like DICE, who's got like a massive studio and a massive budget, it's a sorry excuse for a poorly delivered large game. They're smarter than this, but getting shot through hills is just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're gonna get shot through hills and price your game the same price as Verdun at like $14.95 or whatever.
Verdun, man. Nice reference. Oh man, on TXR we were talking about how Verdun is a new word for shit. Like, I took a Verdun, or I gotta go take a Verdun. I guess Randon Macca came up with that. That was pretty funny. Yeah, Fox agrees with you. I agree with you. I know Assassin agrees with you. The shooting through hills is just ridiculous. I don't know if this is a new thing or not. I don't remember that in vanilla. I don't know.
But a lot of the maps seem to be more open in the base game. So this one's a little bit more cover and hilly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I feel like hopefully us people that have premium, that have got the 2-week access, as shitty as that is to say this, I hope that this is like a beta trial and that they kind of fix it at the end of the 2 weeks.
Well, all the maps were in CTE. They had access to it for like 3 weeks.
That's true. Yeah, good point. Yeah, you're right, because I've seen YouTube videos from CTE people constantly. So.
Yeah.
And even in the actual game, there is like a section of the main user interface that has like a video you can watch of people in CTE. So, and they've had that for a little bit. So. But yeah, we recommend it, right? I mean, it's still a good DLC.
Except the camos. I forgot to mention that.
If it's free, yeah. Free by all means, shoot through hills. But they've redone this one, that's for sure.
I think
they took a Verdun.
I think they'll fix that. I hope they fix that. Let's just say that. They've got to have people complaining about that. We can't be the only ones. I mean, I think the first match we played, like I got sniped through a hill. I'm like, Assassin, what the fuck just happened? Like I just got sniped through a hill. Like there is a guy behind the hill. There's no way he jumped over and ran that far. He definitely just shot me through the hill. Like I feel like if you get marked, you can shoot through a hill. I don't know. I just don't get how that slipped through. But I feel like people are complaining about that.
Maybe they love. I don't know if you've seen the movie Wanted. Just curve the bullet.
Yes, yeah, just curve the bullet. Yeah, curve it right over that hill, right?
Yep.
Assassin, I know you're positive on it. I know you say recommend it, right?
Yeah, I love it. Except, like I said before, the camos, they should have been tied to assignments or have them unlocked. Now they're still in battle packs, but they named this revision "They Shall Not Pass" and have like 3 camos that are DLC weapons. That's
Yeah.
including the tanks.
Yeah. Yeah. The customization in this game is just poor in general, I feel, compared to past Battlefields. I think we talked about that a little bit, Assassin, earlier.
Yeah.
When's it going free to play? What?
Never.
Oh, my goodness. You're awful.
Might as well go in the vault now. At least PVZ didn't have these problems.
It's true. It's true. Taylor is actually in the YouTube chat. Say hi to Granny for us. I don't think you're on the plane yet, but I think she's checking us out from the airport, maybe. So, what's up, Taylor? Yeah, I recommend this. I would say this is one of the better. I mean, other than the glitches that we just talked about, and I'm not a huge fan of customizing anyway, so I don't really care. But I think for content, I think for the game mode, I think the maps are great. I think the new guns are pretty good overall. I would say go for it. I think it's good. Very good. Oh, she's still at work. She's adulting. Hashtag adulting. All right, now on to the next topic, which is a shitty ass shooter for just charging us money for stupid shit. The Modern Warfare Remastered, which, by the way, is actually a decently good game. Like, I don't think it's terrible. I don't really play it anymore. Granted, Battlefield 1 is my shooter of choice, but a lot of people love this. A lot of people still play it. It's got a bigger player base still than I thought it would, honestly. I'll eat crow on that. I thought this was going to fizzle out. I thought people were going to get the nostalgia, play it for a little bit, and kind of give it up. But it does have a decently good player base still. And now they're charging $15 for old maps and 10 rare supply drops. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Assassin, I know you were probably the most vocal about this, and you are the most vocal on Call of Duty topics for this podcast. So please tell us why this is awful.
Okay, so the game is technically $20. Okay, you had to buy either the $80 version or the 100, but the game is $20. So the DLC is almost the same price as the game. First off, second off, when someone remasters a game, all you see is it comes with all the DLC. Sometimes it comes with a little bit more, but never less.
Yep.
They are charging $15 for something that should have been in the game. Maybe not at launch. It should have been at launch, but if it wasn't going to be, it should be free. The game is already, you're already splitting up the communities with, Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare. You're already going to then split them up even more because if you have the DLC installed, you're only going to be matched with people who have it installed.
Yep.
If someone doesn't have it installed, you're not going to play with them.
Tough shit.
So,
yep. Just like the old Halo days. Yep. Tough shit.
Yep. So you're going to match with maybe a few hundred people at the most. The game, when it launched back in 2008, it was $10. It's $5 more for some stupid reason. Supply drops is a waste because they probably have, they just threw colors on there. I could do that in 2 seconds. Like my half brother, who's like 2, could do that. I mean,
wow, brutal.
Yeah. What else did I want to say? The people who have the season pass for Infinite Warfare don't even get Modern Warfare DLC, and they had to spend $100. So if you want all the content, you're spending $115, and that's if they don't add more DLC in the future.
Oh, of course they will. Of course they will. They're gonna see, and like J Street says in the YouTube chat, like buying old stuff again. old. You know, it's not anything new. You're literally buying old stuff that Assassin already said was $10 almost a decade ago. So you're buying old stuff over again, and they're charging $15 for it, and people are gonna buy it. Like J Street says, I agree. People are gonna buy this shit,
Oh, they will.
and so that's gonna say, okay, Activision's gonna see that. They're gonna be like, okay, people want us to spend minimal time remastering 4 maps and selling it, so let's just do it again. So yeah, that costs to have everything. Like you said, Assassin, you have the Infinite Warfare Season Pass. It wouldn't surprise me if the next time they release it, they'll announce a Season Pass that you could buy. Like, it just wouldn't surprise me. So.
And they won't, modernize their games. Like, I keep on complaining this on Twitter, an ADS sensitivity. Their server tick rate before the update was 10. Battlefield, I think, is like, what, 50, 60?
50 and 60, yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes 30, depending on the server
So,
setting.
I mean, they need to do a little bit more, make stuff, play better,
Yeah. Yep.
and take risks.
Well,
Good risks, not
here's the
$15
thing.
risks.
At least it works right out the box, right?
Battlefield.
I mean,
At least you're paying for
Okay.
something that works.
okay, yeah, but it worked back in 2008 too. They've had a decade to make sure it worked. So.
Yeah, they already had the maps there. They just had, spray paint them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, up resolution them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, granted, it's not a quote-unquote remaster like some of the shit coming out today, like Voodoo Vance, which was at PAX. Forgot to even talk about that. That was a shit show. That game looks awful. Granted, it is a little more than up resolutioning, but at the same time, this is a decade old. This stuff is a decade old, dude.
Yep.
Like, just give it to us for free, man. Like, you advertised that it was just $20 more to get the Modern Warfare Remaster. You include a bunch of maps. Good for you. Like, that was a PR success. And now you're gonna double dip. Like, even people who have Infinite Warfare Season Pass don't get this for free. Come on.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, they're making probably millions off microtransactions
Oh yeah,
from
sure.
both of the games. They can eat the cost of, should be $10.
Yep.
And deal with it. But Activision's milking their fans, or what's left of their fans, I should say.
Clowns, anything more to say
Well,
about this?
Well, as long as I don't get shot through hills, I'm okay with
Oh
it.
my god. Listen to this guy.
At least for right
But
now.
you'll get shot around corners, because I played Modern Warfare, I think it was yesterday, because they had a new event going on or whatever for today or something, and I was getting shot around corners.
Awful.
People were like camping in corners. It was not fun.
Awful. I suggest people don't buy this. You got to vote with your dollars, people. Everyone is pissed at Activision. I hear on podcasts left and right, on Twitter left and right, we're pissed at Activision. What did Foxfire in the YouTube chat just said? Call of poopy, and then posted a ton of poop emojis. People are saying this left and right. More people, I feel, are saying this than not. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare reveal trailer, if you guys remember, was the most disliked trailer on YouTube ever. Yet people are gonna go ahead and buy this and vote with their dollars and promote Activision to make this shit and to charge money for it. If you make and give it to us for free, totally different story. But you're making this and giving it for more than it was a decade ago for the same stuff. It's like the Nintendo thing. It's like, don't even get me started on this, but the Virtual Console, like charging ridiculous amount of money for a game that was on the NES 3 decades ago. Like, you gotta charge an appropriate amount for a game that is appropriately old if you're not doing anything to it. And this, yeah, you want to charge $5 more for the remaster, I guess, but the whole marketing scheme at the beginning was you're including so much stuff, and now they're just gonna keep milking it, I wouldn't be so outraged about this, Assassin. I think you feel the same way because you mentioned it. If it was included with the Infinite Warfare Season Pass. Like, if you had the Season Pass and included everything, I would be like, alright, well, it's Activision being Activision, but, I mean, this is ridiculous. Activision, Shady in the YouTube chat says, Activision is the EA of last gen, worst company by far now. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it, but a lot of people are buying their shit, Shady. You know what I mean? A lot of people are buying their stuff, and Bungie's gonna have Destiny 2, coming out. You know, Destiny 2 is gonna sell well. Call of Duty is supposed to be going back to World War II or something, right?
I heard
Um,
Vietnam or
Vietnam
something.
rather. According to leaks, like we don't know that for sure, but according to leaks, that's what they're supposed to be doing. People are gonna buy it. People are gonna buy it, and they're gonna have the old season pass structure of paying $50. And EA,
Yeah.
I feel like this is the last Battlefield EA is gonna do that. And I feel like EA has shown that they can get away from that model. Ubisoft has certainly gotten away from that model, and it's time for Activision to do it too.
Oh yeah.
You can't be overpaying for stuff like this, especially old stuff. If it was brand new stuff, totally different story. But it's old stuff, and that's ridiculous. Quickly in the YouTube chat because before we move on, kind of going back to PAX East, I was able to play Bulletstorm Remastered, the full clip edition UK. Daz, the YouTube chat. I played that. Clowns watched a little bit of it. I would recommend it. I think it played really well, and having Duke Nukem, you know, in the game, and the original voice of Duke Nukem being in it, I think it was badass. I had a really good time with it. I know Jizzle, who's in the YouTube chat as well, maybe he can comment on what he thought of it, but I thought it was really good. Do we talk about In the Shadows? Yeah, a little bit, Taylor. We talked about it, but we're gonna have them on the podcast for an interview, so you better not be adulting when we can schedule them. But they're in Canada, so they're East Coast, so it's not gonna be crazy hours. We'll make sure you're on that one. All right. Wow, we've already been podcasting for a long time, but we have 2 more topics that we definitely need to talk about. Assassin, you want to talk about Scorpio first or PSNow?
Let's do PS now or whatever.
All right, PSNow. Clowns is ecstatic about this. This is the best news for Clowns from Sony
Well,
in decades. PSNow, he's going to be able to be on his PC, maybe hack this in some way on his PC, I don't know, on his Android TV or some shit. PSNow is now going to have PS4 games, potentially exclusive PS4 games, on your PC. So, Clowns, big news.
I think it's good. I mean, it's good for PlayStation. It's a good move for them business-wise, because it's reaching out their titles to more PC players, which a lot of PC people complained about was that their exclusives and whatnot would never go to PC. Well, now here's your chance. The only gripe I have about it is I still think the price is way too high. They need to lower it, and they need to like price that. Well, Microsoft's doing like $9.99 a month. Microsoft's on the ball with that. But I really do think that going past Scorpio, I think future generations will be streaming. I think it will be less of, you know, buying the games and playing them on your consoles. It would be more streaming and playing on your consoles, just because I don't think that the data can keep up to date with the consumer price with the large scale, the massive data of these games. I think that's the reason for it. And I think companies are pushing us that way now with Xbox and PS Now, but this whole PC thing's epic. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good move.
Now I know. Before we get to Assassin, I want to ask you, Clowns, because I know out of all of us, I think you probably have the most experience with PS Now, because I had it for maybe a couple months, but I didn't like the performance, and they've kind of, I guess, improved that since then. And you kind of played it recently, so is the performance bad, or do you think the performance is up to snuff, or do you think that to get people to do this on PC Master Race, they're gonna have to improve it from 720p? What do you think?
It's funny because a lot of PC people complain, a lot of hardcore riggers complain about resolution. So if they want to appease them, they're gonna have to like fix it.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I'm worried about on PC is that, when I played it last, they improved the lag by a lot. Like it was less than like a 0.1 millisecond.
Really?
But for PC players, it's going to need to be perfect, because if there's any lag and they're playing on the PC, they're going to flip out. They're going to send like hate letters to Sony over this.
Yeah. Yep. 100% agree with you on that. And we talked about it a little bit on TXR. I was on Basement Radio Arcade Podcast on Wednesday. We talked a little bit about it, but everyone agrees. Like, you got to get the performance up to snuff for PC people, because PC people are snobs. Like, I am one of them now. I have a gaming rig. Clowns definitely wants a gaming rig. I see and we'll talk about Scorpio in the next topic and how that's going to compete with PC and stuff. But I love gaming on my PC and getting the highest fidelity. But so I definitely agree, and I think people who aren't even PC gamers agree that it's got to be better than 720p, and the lag has got to be like, to be streaming the games. It's got to be, you know, as instant as Beam. You know what I mean? It's got to be like Beam streaming in order for it to work out. And Sony, you know, purchased Gaikai, you know, on live streaming service that was, you know, what everyone expected, you know, was going to be the future, and Clowns definitely thinks it's the future. He's talked about that in the show before, but like, they got to get it up to snuff. It's got to be at least 1080p in my opinion. So, Dassin, I know you don't have a PS4 anymore, so
I miss it.
you know, what do you think of this? Is this a big deal? You know, exclusives, quote unquote, coming to PC from the PlayStation.
Well, it gives me an excuse to now stop saving up for PS4 and just go PC.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, if you don't have a PS4 now and you want to do PC gaming and PlayStation gaming, what's preventing you from going out and building like a really cost-efficient, like $600 rig? You know, that you can do everything on. You know, podcasts. You can do, you know, game capture, like high fidelity game capture. You can do, and then you'll be able to play PC games at high fidelity, and you'll be able to play, you know, PSNow, 1080p probably in the future, I'm guessing. And you'll be able to play Horizon Zero Dawn, stuff like Uncharted in the future, I'm guessing. I mean, nothing's confirmed on the games. Like, you know, same thing with Xbox Game Pass. Nothing is really confirmed on games, but yeah. Do you guys think they're competing with Game Pass with this move? Like, is this in reaction to the Game Pass announcement, or do you think this was kind of in the pipeline?
I think it was in the pipeline.
Didn't they say years ago when it was first being announced that they would do something like that with PS4 games?
Did they? I don't remember that, but
I'm not 100%.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past it at all. I think I play a lot of games on Steam. I play even Ubisoft games on Uplay on PC. I play with my DualShock controller, and I think it works really well. I think it may convince PC people to buy a DualShock. Honestly, like I don't know how Horizon. I don't know. Some of the PS4 exclusives I can't imagine playing without a PlayStation controller, if that makes sense. Like, remember when we played Gears of War Horde mode, and I was on PC and you guys were on Xbox, and I was playing it on my DualShock, and I was like, this kind of feels dirty. Like, I'm not really sure I should be doing this. I feel the same way about PlayStation stuff. I don't know. All right, any more to say about this? I mean, gotta lower the price, gotta make it better, actually.
Yep.
The message. Real quick, something that J Street kind of brought up in chat that maybe we can just mention really quick. You guys see this GameStop thing where you can do $15 and you can play any pre-owned game as long as you want, $15 a month. You can trade it in at any time. You can just exchange it. It's like GameFly, essentially.
Yeah, it saw some. I didn't read up on it, but I saw it the other day.
I mean, why wouldn't you just have GameFly? I mean, I guess GameFly takes a few days to get the games there and to send them back and stuff.
Well, I have GameFly on my TV, so.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So, can you just reiterate how that works again?
Yeah, J Street's saying, I saw a little bit about this. I didn't see the terms, but apparently, you know, you can pay $15 a month, and it lets you take out any pre-owned game you want from GameStop and trade it, you know, bring it back and then exchange it for another one. You know, it's like GameFly, but physical copies at GameStop. You know, it's instead of sending them, you're just getting them at GameStop.
Now, do you have to trade them back in?
I mean, I guess you can buy them. I don't really know the details, but you know, I guess. I mean, with GameFly, I guess you can buy them outright too if you want. You can pay the extra, but you can take them out as long as you want. You know, $14.99 a month for rental service. So I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, that's. Here's the thing though. instant gratification with GameStop versus GameFly.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's without a doubt a big deal. And on GameFly, a lot of times, like the new games come out, Horizon Zero Dawn comes out. Unless you're like right there to get that thing, you sign up early. Like you're not, it's gonna be in such low quantity. You may have to wait. You pay monthly. You may have to wait 10 days to get that. Whereas you may be able to find a GameStop. Say you pay the $15 a month. And there's like 10 GameStops in your area. As soon as one comes in, you can look it up online. You can just drive there, grab it. So the selection's gonna be, I think, a lot better. And I think it's going to be a lot more immediate. Like, people trade in Horizon probably day one. They go home, beat it, and trade it in. Get the best, the most money. So you'll be able to get that maybe day one with the subscription thing. You'll be able to go into a GameStop, especially in Boston. Big areas.
Oh, yeah, dude. There was tons of those in Boston.
Yeah.
So it's got to be used, though, right? It can't
used,
be.
Yeah, yep.
But it could be any title used.
Any title, yeah.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. I think it is, yeah. Definitely.
It's a smart move by GameStop because they're going to get crushed by digital sales.
Yep. I think there's definitely a reaction to this PSNow stuff in the Game Pass because, remember, Clowns, I think you were telling me about the stock going down big time for GameStop?
Yep.
For the Game Pass announcement, so. Yeah, big deal. Thanks for bringing that up, J Street. I did see that, but I didn't kind of remember to put it in the show, but that's definitely a huge deal. Maybe I'll get it for a month and try it, and then we'll talk about it on the show. All right, last topic really quick, because this is all speculation. I don't think any of this is really confirmed. I think Jez kind of leaked this at first on Windows Central. But a bunch of Scorpio news has come out recently.
Very obvious Scorpio news.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the tagline I put here. Is this stuff we expected, or was there some surprise here? I think the surprise news... Let's start with the obvious stuff and just get it out of the way, and then we'll talk in depth about the surprise stuff. So, internal power supply. Like, did anyone think we were going to get a fucking 8-pound brick again? Anyone here?
Not really, but if it was a power brick, who cares? It's behind your TV.
No, but a lot of people, portability is a big deal, dude. Portability is a big deal. That's why they're trying to keep it small. If they weren't trying, I mean, look at the Switch. You know what I mean? That thing has like 7 launch titles, and that's selling like hotcakes. I mean, it's new, granted it's new, but I mean the portability is better than I ever expected. That thing. I think a lot of people like bring their consoles to like LAN parties or like at PAX, right? There was BYOC, bring your own console. I think that's a big deal. People don't want to be lugging around that thing. I agree with you. I mean, for me and for the average gamer, I agree with you.
No.
Who gives a shit? It's behind your TV, but after they did it with the 1S, I never, and with the PS4 Pro even, that doesn't have a power brick. If they had a power brick, I'd be like, so no power brick for the Scorpio according to Jez and Windows Central. Also the 1080p super sampling for better anti-aliasing, shader model 6 they call it. I won't even pretend to know what that is, but apparently 1080p, if you still have a 1080p set and you get a Scorpio, you're gonna get better visual fidelity, better anti-aliasing, textures and all that kind of thing. Same thing as the Pro. Did anyone here not expect that? Nope. Everyone expected it. But now here's the kicker. Here is the meat and potatoes of this announcement, in my opinion. 4K game DVR and streaming to Beam.
So the streaming I kind of expected.
Excuse me, 4K streaming? That's a
4K?
big deal, dude.
The capture, maybe not, but 4K streaming.
I'm on the other side of that 100%. I expected the capture because it's the 4K box that, people are thinking it's going to be... I mean, look at the image we have here is from E3. I mean, they had 4K on the chip. It's not... I doubt it's going to say that, but, I mean, they're pushing that it's native 4K. The 6 teraflops, they're going to push native 4K. I expected... What are they going to capture in 1080p on a box that does 4K? That's supposed to be plugged into 4K TVs, But streaming, dude? Who streams 4K?
People who want to.
No, dude, that's big. That takes a lot of bandwidth. It takes a lot of power. Capture card. If you want to stream 1080p 60 on your PC, you better have a friggin' good rig, man. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to have a huge rig. A big, powerful, Intel processor. You're not going to be doing that in AMD, no offense. not good for streaming. But Intel, a big, i7, Xeon, extreme edition, enthusiast grade CPU, or you're screwed. You're definitely not gonna get 1080p 60. So this thing's gonna do 4K, probably 30 to beam. I don't know if Jez said 60, but I don't necessarily believe that. Clowns, you think that's big news, right? I mean, that's huge news.
I think he's having problems with his mic.
Oh, why would happen?
Check the Twitter DMs. His battery died and he can't.
Oh. All right, well, Clowns typed it in chat. He says streaming 4K is huge. It is huge. It's going to be, you're not going to be streaming 4K on your PS4, bro. I doubt it. Mega Chris says I'd rather have 60 FPS frame rate option on Scorpio, and I think that's coming. I think this news really suggests that kind of thing is going to be coming. 4K game capture, Assassin, like...
Yeah, but imagine... Okay, so we don't have much space to hold stuff, captures now. I've been told to delete a bunch of stuff. That's only going to get huge with 4K.
So, PlayStation just added support for external hard drives, which was big. I mean, granted, it was late, but that's big news. Xbox has had support for 16 terabytes of storage forever. I mean, I don't know any one of my friends that doesn't have an external hard drive, honestly. I mean, maybe Taylor. That's it.
My cousin doesn't.
No, if your cousin who's, 2 years old?
7 or 8.
Great, wow, congratulations. Even my 8-year-old nephew and my 11-year-old nephew, they have a hard drive. Like, everyone who has... I mean, the externals are so cheap now. It's, almost common sense to buy one. You can store, hundreds of games. It just makes sense. So... man. I see your point, but I don't think that... People that are going to be doing game capture probably at 4K are probably going to have a hard drive, right? I think.
Yeah, but... I mean, that's less games you can hold, because 4K games are going to be a lot bigger than games that we have now.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you to the extent that everything's just going to be getting, bigger in size. That's what she said. 100, what game's 100 gigs? There is a game that's 100 gigs, right?
Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is 99. I think it might have hit 100. Halo Master Chief
Collection, yep.
I think Halo 5 is getting there. Where is it there? Probably Battlefield in the future. Battlefield 1, maybe? That's at 60, 70 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, games with big single-player and multiplayer components... I think are going to be in the 100 gigabyte range for sure. And, if people want to store, 5-minute, 10-minute game DVR recordings at 4K, that's going to be, high bit rate, high storage capacity. Fox and Lady Foxfire in the YouTube chat says more cloud storage or OneDrive. I mean, I agree with you on that. I think if they offer Xbox Live Gold members a very sizable OneDrive storage, I think that they could, I almost said subsidize it, but that's kind of the word I'm looking for. They would almost, alleviate the fact that you need an external hard drive. But I don't know. Then you think, okay, cloud storage for 4K DVR capture, it's gonna have to store locally first, and then you're gonna have to upload it. And if your upload speed's not great, then it's gonna take forever to upload a 4K video. I mean, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what they do. Maybe it's lower codec, or, maybe they've got some compression technology that makes this really feasible. But I'm telling you, I think the bigger news is 4K streaming to beam. How are they gonna do that? You already need a really, really nice processor to stream 1080p 60, let alone 4K. So.
Well, I forget where I heard it from, but I hear it a lot. They probably want content creators to go buy this thing, so they have to pull out all the stops here.
Yeah, no, that was a good video. I think it was Crap Gamer made that. That was a great point. I mean, it's an excellent point. A lot of times you'll see content creators doing stuff on PC. You'll see them doing it on PS4. You don't necessarily see them doing it on Xbox One. I totally agree with that. And if you can put, everyone's impressed when they see, they go to YouTube, they go on that little cog, and you see 4K. Everyone's like, shit, this is high quality video. So, yeah, if you can capture your gameplay, your 4K gameplay in 4K, like a lot of people are capturing with their capture cards, they're capturing Horizon Zero Dawn, right? But they can't get the true fidelity. I tell people all the time that ask me how Horizon is, I'm like, unless you have a 4K TV, you're not gonna know how good it looks. Like that game looks phenomenal. And so now people are gonna be able to know how these games look with 4K DVR capture. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna sway a lot of people to start doing reviews, start doing content creation on the Xbox platform, and yeah, I mean that's free advertising for Microsoft,
Yep.
and it's a smart move, very smart move. So it's smart of them to to focus on software at this point. We're all talking about the games, and yeah, everyone wants new games, right? They want new IPs from Microsoft, but I think right now for these leaks, I give them an A grade. Honestly, I think a lot of this stuff is good stuff. So, all right, we're at the 1:30 mark, Assassin. We're at the 1 hour 30 mark. I think we're gonna call it. I think Clowns is having mic problems, so we'll finish it out without him. Thank you everyone for coming and watching. I know we're only doing it on YouTube today, which kind of sucks, but next week we'll be back on Beam and Twitch simulcast. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. 4GwQuarters is our handle on there. It's also our handle on Twitch and Beam as well. Please follow us on those various platforms. We do stream games often. We're going to have a lot of indie stuff that we covered at PAX and got some good connections with developers. So we're going to have those people on the podcast, and we're going to have some gameplay of some indie stuff. So please go follow us on there. Twitter, obviously, is where you'll get most of the information about our show. 4GwQPodcast is our Twitter handle. Also, Assassin, once in a blue moon, will check our Facebook, which is 4GwQuarters. Go give us a like on there. And our website, 4GwQuarters.com. Go check out the newest we have on there. We'll have written reviews. We'll have archived episodes, the whole bit. So, yeah, other than that, Assassin, you got anything going on this weekend?
Battlefield.
Sexy. All right. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.